Hi, and welcome to my recap of episode 2 of For the Love of DILFs. Episode 1 ended up with a cocktail party where all the himbos and daddies were intermingling. So where we left off is Tokyo and Tony, Daddy Tony and himbo Tokyo, are now hitting it off. They talk about weight loss journeys. They both had their own weight loss journey, and so they really connect in that sense. And they also share a little booty grab. I will say Tokyo is amazing at twerking, like ridiculously good at it. It makes my back hurt to watch him. Credit where it's due. Bobby and Nathan, who were originally paired up via the blind item picking, they're still hitting it off, vibing so hard, making out. So that's going very, very well. Gordon and Mateo are vibing very hard. So Gordon is the daddy who is his first time being a daddy, and Mateo is from Mexico, but they're very, very much hitting it off. However, Mateo also kind of likes Jeffrey, so there's a bit of he's a bit torn between the two, but it seems like he's vibing more with Gordon because they talk about shaving and they share a smoochy smooch. Here comes the drama. Stormy Daniels is here and announces that a new himbo shall now enter the house. This himbo's name is Matt. He is 26. He's a model from Los Angeles. And Jeffrey, Daddy Jeffrey, is drooling over himbo Matt. Like, for real, for real. Very, very into him. So let's see what happens. Matt gets a chance to talk to all the daddies. Bobby is not interested because he is 100% into Nathan, which makes sense because they were making out and both of them are hopeless romantics. So, you know, that makes sense. The challenge of the day is dodgeball. Strip dodgeball. Himbos versus daddies. Once you get to your underwear, you're out. So, obviously the himbos have an advantage because younger and quicker, just generally speaking. However, Daddy Tony stands his ground. He's the last one versus a couple himbos, but it is what it is, and Daddy Tony gets kicked out. So the himbos win the opportunity to pick their dates for the evening. And I believe it's random. I think this time it's randomized. So Stormy comes and she like pulls out of the hat which himbo gets to pick their daddy as their date for the evening. Nathan picks Bobby, obviously. Tony picks Alex. I'm sorry. Prince Charming Tony picks Daddy Alex. Matt, the new himbo, picks Jeffrey, who is over the moon because he was just like I said, like drooling hard when Matt walked in. So he is very, very happy. So Jeffrey is leaving Mateo for Matt because he got picked by Matt. Tokyo picks Gordon. Interesting because Tokyo and Daddy Tony had a little bit of a booty grab. So that was a little interesting. Gordon's a little like, okay. Big Tony is also very sad about this because he thought he was feeling Tokyo and Tokyo was feeling him. Mateo picks Daddy Tony. It's an odd coupling. They haven't really talked to each other at all, but because of everything and how it shook out, he had no other choice. That leaves Phoenix as the odd himbo out. So that means that Phoenix can go crash everybody's date as a third wheel. So he gets to go and go on everybody's, spend a little bit of time with everybody and kind of stir up some drama. Maybe find out some tea. I don't know. Before everybody goes on their dates, Prince Charming Tony goes up to Daddy Alex and says, "Hey, I want to talk to you later." And that's it. Doesn't he know not to do that? Nobody should do that ever because it puts so much stress and worry upon the other person. Like, Don't ever say we have to talk, or I want to ask you something, or I want to tell you something. Just say it. Just ask it. Just tell it. Just do it there. Do it right then. Unnecessary. Here's where I find out my favorite part of the show and what makes this one different from a lot of other dating shows. Actually, I think all other dating shows that I've seen, maybe save for Temptation Island, different goal, but same idea, where the host actually talks to the contestants about how they're feeling about things, as opposed to the very standoffish nature of the host of like Love is Blind, for instance. So Stormy Daniels, every episode, takes one or two couples and actually sits down and talks with them about how they're feeling individually and with each other and with other people in the house. So this time she pulls, she pull? She pulls Tokyo and Gordon. They were initially paired up with the blind item swap, but then Tokyo was hitting it off more with Tony, and Gordon was sort of hitting it off with Mateo, but then Tokyo picked Gordon for the date after Dodgeball instead of Daddy Tony. So it was a very weird, like, what's going on here? Like, are you guys together? Are you apart? What are you doing? So Stormy actually sits down with them and talks to both of them, and they both open up a little bit about their past, about how they've been hurt, their trauma, where they're coming from, and Tokyo just wants communication, and Gordon says, cool, I'll communicate, I'm totally down with that, and that's kind of where it was left, is that they looked into each other's eyes and they promised to be open and communicative. And it's like, okay, cool. Gordon confesses he's more into Mateo than Tokyo, and he's not really sure how to broach the subject. So that's going to be a little difficult, especially seeing as their meeting with Stormy just resulted in honesty and communication promises. Here's the test. Let's go. Tokyo approaches Phoenix, and they basically come to an understanding and a truce for the rest of the show. Again, I don't know what the drama was about. I don't really care because it wasn't pertinent. But they're cool now. So, woo. The dates for the evening. The date for the evening was an indoor picnic for the couples, and there was a harpist, and then Phoenix got to go around and interrupt or crash everybody's date. First, we have Nathan and Bobby. They're having a conversation about top versus bottom versus verse. They're hitting it off though, and then Phoenix crashes and tries to stir up the pot by talking long distance. However, Bobby and Nathan are not biting at this little drama tease, and they're solid. So Phoenix moves on to the next couple. Matt and Jeff are also talking about top and bottom. Matt is verse, and he also wants somebody who's verse. However, Jeffrey is a top, and so they're kind of talking about if that's a deal breaker or not. Jeffrey, though, is so into Matt in terms of, like, looks, and so I don't know if this is going to be a deal breaker for them, but it seems to be an issue. Prince Charming, Tony, is talking to Alex about sex work, and Tony basically says that he wants to be educated on the topic because he doesn't know anything, and he comes from a very conservative background, and Alex takes a little bit of a defense position because I'm sure he's gotten it a lot in his life from a lot of different angles, a lot of grief about this, so he gets a little bit defensive. However, they both come to an understanding, they both like each other, and they both want to learn more about each other and their background and lives. So to me, it didn't seem like it was a bad issue. It just seemed like it was a gap that in knowledge that they needed to kind of, overcome and talk about and explore. Tokyo's on his date with Gordon. However, Gordon is really distracted and not really into the date with Tokyo. And he's kind of looking for Mateo in the dates and just kind of not really present. Phoenix comes and crashes as a third wheel, and at a really great time because the awkwardness was just palpable and it was uncomfortable. That leaves Mateo and Big Tony. And Mateo is he's a bit tipsy and flirty, and he is he's probably upset, honestly, that Gordon's with Tokyo but not with Mateo. So, you know, and he was a little bit drunk, and so he was flirting with Big Tony, and so when Big Tony tried to reciprocate and kiss Mateo, Mateo turned him down and was like, no, you cannot. So I think it was a little bit for attention, a little bit for jealousy, a little bit because tipsy, and, you know, a little bit upset, you know. Phoenix comes, jokes about asking for a threesome, and then Phoenix and Tony get in an argument about something that was irrelevant and kind of stupid. Oh, no, it was about Tokyo, I think, because of the issue that Phoenix and Tokyo had earlier. And now Big Tony kind of likes Tokyo, so he's confronting Phoenix about that. So the dates were a little weird because of the way things shook out in the pics. However, I think certain things will be corrected next time. The elimination. For the elimination, Stormy Daniels tells the group that the daddies get to pick, and the himbo left is out. The first real elimination, right? Yeah, because there wasn't any in episode 1. This is the first elimination. This makes it real. For real. Okay, so out of the hat, Bobby picks Nathan, obviously. Big Tony picks Tokyo, finally, the way things should have been before. There's a small smooch there too, so. Gordon picks Mateo, whom he was really into anyway, so that's obviously looking better. Jeffrey picks Matt, who he was very happy picked him, so it goes both ways, and now he gets to pick him. Alex picks Prince Charming Tony because obviously they're hitting it off, and he was a little worried about the sex work talk. However, he understands that it coming from a place of wanting education and naivete, so hopefully they will see eye to eye soon. And with that, the eliminated himbo is Phoenix. The third wheel on the dates did not make a connection, unfortunately, and so Phoenix is gone, and that means that next time there will be a new daddy and an elimination. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, tap that notification bell, and write me in the comments. Tell me who you like and who you dislike, and how awesome is Stormy Daniels as a host. I mean, I want to be her friend. I want her to be my therapist. I think she's amazing. So, see you next time.